Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hoge, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
Hi, I'm AJ Hoge, the author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. That is my book. Join my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com. You want to speak English powerfully, speak fluently, speak clearly, most of all, speak effortlessly. That means when you speak English, the words come out naturally. You don't need to think. You don't need to translate. You think in English. That's what my VIP program trains you to do. Speak English powerfully. Speak English effortlessly. Join my VIP program today. Commit. Make a full commitment. Join my VIP program today at effortlessenglishclub.com. effortlessenglishclub.com. Beautiful day today. It's the weekend. Hope you're doing well. Here in Japan, it's fall, autumn. Perfect time of year. Fantastic. As I said yesterday, this is a good time to visit Japan. I think October is perhaps the best month to visit Japan. Still waiting to be sponsored by the Japanese tourist department. They should pay me some money. I'm always promoting Japan, saying nice things about it. Let's talk more about ZFG. ZFG. It's a nice little slang phrase. ZFG is the polite way to say it. The not polite way is zero fucks given. Zero fucks given. A ZFG attitude. And what this means, if you missed my older show when I talked about this phrase, I'll give you the short meaning again. So if you remember, ZFG, zero fucks given, basically it's an attitude, it's a mindset. It's an attitude, it's a mindset where you don't care what other people think. That's the heart of it. That basically is the core, the heart of this attitude. You just don't care. It's not you don't care about anything. Right? You care about yourself, you care about your family, you care about your goals, you care about your purpose, you care about your mission in life, you care about, all of those big things. But specifically what you don't care about with this attitude, you don't care what other people think about that. Zero fucks given. It means you do what's right. You do what's right. What you believe and think is right. You do it. You don't care if it's popular or not popular. You don't care if most people agree. You don't care if most people disagree. You don't care if everybody disagrees. It means you don't even think about this. This is not part of your thinking. When you say something, you just speak the truth, and you don't care about the reaction. You don't care about the reaction. You don't care if other people like what you say. You don't care if they don't like what you say. You don't care if they get angry. You don't care if they get excited. You're just telling the truth. This is very strongly connected to the Bhagavad Gita, what we've been talking about with the Gita, specifically Arjuna's situation. And this is a very casual, slang way, very American way, to say this similar idea. Now, the Bhagavad Gita describes this idea, this mindset, much more deeply, spiritually, philosophically, of course. using words like equanimity. Krishna teaching Arjuna, do what is right, do your duty, and don't worry about the results. Don't worry what happens. Right? It's basically the same mindset, the same kind of idea, which is do what's right, say what's true, and no worries, no care about what happens afterwards, because you're not afraid. Because you know you are doing what's right, you know you have truth on your side, you know you are acting from truth and goodness. You're not trying to be popular. You're not trying to be nice. You're trying to be good and true as best you can. And so the modern American, very casual way to say this, zero fucks given. And it's a compliment. It's a very positive phrase. Like you could say about somebody, man, he doesn't give a fuck. Okay, that's one way you would say it to describe someone. He doesn't give a fuck. So it's a compliment. It means he doesn't care. It means he's fearless. He's fearless. He's fearless. He doesn't fear other people's reactions. He doesn't fear other people's criticisms. He doesn't fear being unpopular. Right? He's fearless. He just says what's true. Or he just does what he wants to do. He doesn't care what other people think. This is a great attitude. Zero fucks given. Let's talk about this more. What I would describe as the joys, the incredible happiness you will feel as you develop this ZFG attitude. See, without this attitude, how do you feel? It's painful. It's painful because when you care so much, meaning you fear so much what other people think, then you always feel weak. You always feel afraid, right? Before you say something, you worry, oh, will I upset them? Will I offend them? Will they get angry or upset? Will they argue with me? Will they criticize me? If I say this, will it be unpopular? Will most people agree? Or will they disagree? See, if you don't have ZFG, you're always thinking these things in your mind all the time before you say something, before you speak, before you take an action. You're always thinking, constantly worrying about other people, what they will think, what they will feel, what they will say, what they will do, how they will react. This becomes exhausting, right? Makes you feel very, very tired to constantly be worrying about this, thinking about this all the time. When you're like that, you adjust, you change what you say. You think something, you believe something. Maybe you believe something and know something very strongly, but you don't say it. Or you say it, but you make it sound weaker, right? You try to make it sound much softer so that other people don't get upset. Or because you know the truth is unpopular. Now, we know this, right? We talk about blue pill and red pill. Red pill is not popular because these are hard truths. So when you say a red pill truth about something, the hard truth, it's not pretty, it's an ugly truth. When you say ugly truths, a lot of people get upset. A lot of people get upset. They don't want to hear it. Some people will become very angry when they hear a red pill truth. They will attack you, call you bad names, criticize you. Maybe they will even stop wanting to talk to you. They don't want to hear it. It's terrible. overall, when you don't have a ZFG attitude, when you don't have it, you have a general feeling of weakness. You just feel kind of weak. You also feel kind of dishonest. Dishonest meaning not honest. Right? You feel nice. You're always worrying about being nice. I want to be nice. But nice is often the opposite of honest. So you feel like almost like a little bit of a liar, a pretender. Maybe you're not lying actually, but you're hiding your full truth, your full beliefs. You're holding yourself back. It's like you're in a prison and you've made this prison yourself. It's a prison of fear of other people's opinions. And this fear is a strong cage. It can be. I think about the reactions many people have, for example, when we were doing the Rich Dad book. And there are some people who, they know the Rich Dad book is true. They want to be financially free, but they're afraid to take action. And usually this fear is not really about them. Meaning, we've talked many times, right? If you think logically, rationally about it, you realize, well, if I start a business and I fail, I won't die, right? You're not going to die. You're not going to starve. You just go get another job, that's all. Okay? It's not a big deal. But the truth is, that's not the real fear most people have. That's not really the fear or the worry that stops most people from trying. That's not it. That's a very small one, actually. And most people realize when they think about it, oh yeah, it's no big deal. No, the fear, in my experience, talking to many people about this topic, in my experience, when I dig a little bit and ask some questions, the real fear is the fear of other people's opinions. It's the fear of what their parents will think, especially if they fail. It's worrying about going against their parents' beliefs or ideas or advice. Or maybe not their parents, maybe their husband or their wife, or maybe their friends, or maybe people they work with, or maybe just, I don't know, people in general. That's the real fear that stops most people, that worries most people. The fear of being embarrassed. The fear of going against what is normal, what other people think you should do. It makes you unhappy. It makes you feel weak. You're being nice. You're trying to please everybody, and you feel weak, and you're not being honest, and you're not being true to yourself. You're not doing what you really want to do. We'll get some of these ideas in The Alchemist, by the way, when we read this next book. A few of these ideas also in The Alchemist. Now, I'm speaking from experience. I think you know, by now, you know already, when I say these things, when sometimes I sound tough, maybe I'm criticizing, you should know, I'm not criticizing other people. I'm talking from experience, meaning I was like this myself, so I understand it. I'm not saying you're a bad person if you care too much about other people's opinions. It means you're really nice, but nice is dangerous. Okay? I know. I used to be super nice. I used to worry a lot about other people's opinions, upsetting other people. I remember when I first lived in my car. You know, the main fear I had, if I'm honest, when I really think about it, the number one, the biggest fear, worry, maybe is a better word, the biggest worry I had when I lived in my car was other people's opinions. Would other people think I was crazy, right? My parents, for example, some of my friends, and other people I met. For a while, I did not tell other people I was doing it. I would hide it from other people. I would be living in my car, but I wouldn't tell everybody when I met them that I was living in my car, kind of like a little secret, because I worried, oh, what will they think? Oh, maybe they'll think I'm crazy or weird or something. It took a while. It took me a little while to get over that, to go past that and just say, oh, I don't care. Who cares what they think? Now, what's funny, of course, when I did tell people, most people didn't care, and a lot of people thought it was interesting. Really? You're living in your car? And they would ask me questions. They were very curious about it. I think really it was my family that was most worried and maybe not so much negative, but they were worried. But I got past that, right? I did it anyway. That's the key point, okay? And that's what you need to realize. It's okay if you don't have a ZFG attitude now. It's okay. I didn't either. It has taken me many, 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 many years. I was trained, I was raised, mostly by my mom, to be a super nice guy. Nice, nice, nice. Too nice. Much too nice. Because nice means you're always trying to please everybody else. You're always worrying what everyone else will think, how everybody else feels. That means you're not totally honest. You're not totally yourself. You're hiding yourself. It sucks. It's no fun. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel weak. It makes you feel dishonest. And it makes you constantly worry about what will other people think? Oh, will people get upset? Will they not like it? I see the same thing with homeschooling. You know, the number one fear I also see with parents when they think about homeschooling, they ask, you know, they have a few different worries. Some of them are practical. How will I do? How will I teach the lessons? Is it difficult? But those are really pretty small. Actually, I think the biggest fear, again, is most people are just afraid. What will other people think? What will my parents think if I tell them we are homeschooling our children? Oh, they won't like it. Oh, no. And they get worried. Or what will other people think? What will our neighbors think? What will our friends think? Right? It's all this worry about what other people will think. It's the opposite of a ZFG attitude. And so they hesitate and they don't do it. They're afraid. That's where it becomes bad. That's where it creates a prison. You're a prisoner. It's okay to feel that because we're trained to be this way, to be weak. The feeling of fear and worry is okay. What is bad is when you let the fear win, when you let the worry win, when you let it stop you, then you become weaker and weaker and weaker. On the other hand, when you push forward, when you take action anyway, when you say the truth anyway, when you do what you need to do and want to do anyway, you get stronger. And as you get stronger, and you get good results, or even bad results, but you survive, and you keep going forward, you worry less. You start to care less and less and less about what other people think. You start to realize more and more and more that this is your life. This is your life. Yours. You are responsible for this life, not anyone else. These other people, they are not living your life for you. They are not going to give you the life you want. They're not going to help you when you really need help. It's your life. So who cares what they think? They have their own lives. They can make their own decisions. If they don't like something, fine. They don't have to like it. But you are responsible for your life. It's your life. Who cares what other people think? Who cares if they think you're crazy? So what? Who cares if they think you're stupid? So what? Who cares if they think you're a mean, terrible person? So what? Who are they? It's your life, not theirs. It is your life, not theirs. Your life. So your ZFG attitude gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Quick note about my pronunciation course. Get my pronunciation course also at the same website, effortlessenglishclub.com. The pronunciation course works very well with my other courses. You can add it. You can do it at the same time. You can do VIP and my pronunciation course at the same time. It works very well. Or you could do Power English, my Power English course, and the pronunciation course at the same time. It's really great to do that combination. The pronunciation course teaches you to speak very clearly with a North American accent, a very clear, super understandable pronunciation, accent. So everyone will understand you when you speak English, right? If you have great vocabulary and great spoken grammar, but your pronunciation is bad, if your pronunciation is bad, no one will understand you. So no communication. So pronunciation is super important, very important, as you know. My pronunciation course trains you. Again, you're practicing and training English, spoken English pronunciation with a clear, standard North American accent that everybody understands. And get my pronunciation course today at effortlessenglishclub.com. effortlessenglishclub.com. Okay, so those are the problems of worrying about other people's opinions. Right? It's painful. When you don't have a ZFG attitude, you feel weak, you worry all the time, you're not honest, you're not yourself, you don't live your life how you really want to. It sucks. It's terrible. It's painful. I'm telling you from experience. I know. I had to overcome this myself, and it was very difficult. But you must overcome it. Because on the other side, when you do develop a ZFG attitude, when you don't give a fuck anymore, it's powerful. It is so incredibly powerful when you finally decide, I don't give a fuck. Meaning, I don't care at all. I don't care what other people think. I don't care if they don't like what I do. I don't care if they don't like what I say. I don't care if they do like it. I don't care about their opinion. I don't care at all. Because it doesn't matter. It's not their life. The first thing, when you get this ZFG attitude, the first thing you notice is a feeling of power inside. It's a very strong feeling of power inside you, where before you were always worrying and you always felt a little weak. Instead, you feel this energy inside of you, this powerful energy inside of you. It makes you want to take action more. It makes you want to just be direct and be honest and be open. Say what you really feel. Say what you really mean. Say what you really think. But most of all, do what you really want to do. Do what you really need to do. Do what you know is truly right and good and correct. You just do it. And as you do that, that feeling of energy and power increases, gets more and more and more and more. It feels fantastic. Okay, this is better than any drug. Okay? This ZFG attitude feels fantastic. Now, what you notice after this, for a while you have this feeling of just power and energy, rah, and you keep that. But what also comes next after a while, when you start to do this more, you start to be more direct, you start to be more honest, you take action more and more, doing whatever you want to do, what you think is right, and you don't care. And what happens is sometimes people don't like it. Sometimes people are shocked. They're surprised by this new attitude you have. Sometimes people who know you really don't like it. They're like, what happened to you? They might say this to you. This happened to me. Some old acquaintances, some people I knew when I was just Mr. Super Nice Guy all the time and wimpy and weak and always worrying about other people's opinions. When I changed, they were shocked. What happened to you? Oh my God, you're so mean. You're so terrible. This happens. You can expect this to happen with some people. They don't like it. They don't like you to be powerful. They liked you when you were weak. They liked when you were afraid. They don't like it when you're so strong, doing whatever you want to do. They can't control you now. So they don't like it. So you will get some criticism. But you're going to feel that energy and power. You'll get the criticism. Now at first, because it's new for you, you've never done this before, it's new, the criticism will bother you a little bit. It'll still bother you. Yeah, you'll still, oh God, am I becoming mean? Are they right? Oh, you'll worry about it because you're a good person. It's okay. I did too. And we call this second guessing. You second guess yourself. You start to think, am I wrong? Am I actually wrong? But it's okay. That's normal. It's fine to think that. But you keep thinking about it. You keep looking at your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own motivation. You ask yourself, am I being honest? Am I being true? Am I doing what I feel is right? Am I saying the real truth? Am I doing what I know is right? Am I doing what I really, truly need and want to do? And as you ask yourself that, you answer yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And then the next thing that happens, it's another fantastic feeling. You suddenly realize and you suddenly see clearly, like Neo after the red pill. You suddenly see the whole thing clearly. You suddenly see these other people who are criticizing you or who are unhappy or whatever. You see they're blue-pilled. You understand. You're like, oh, these people also, they're just, I don't even know if they're being honest, right? They're just afraid. These other people are just afraid. They're in the same prison I was in. They're saying the same opinions because these are the acceptable opinions that everyone must say. They are doing what everyone else is doing because these are the acceptable actions that everyone is supposed to do. They're repeating the same beliefs, the same ideas, the same opinions, the same actions. They're fearful, they're afraid, they're blue-pilled. You see it. You laugh because you used to be that way. So you see it clearly and you realize these poor people. You have found the ZFG attitude. You feel powerful and alive. Finally, you feel so much more powerful and alive, fully alive. And then you look at them and you realize they're only half alive. And then what comes next then is another attitude you get, which is called amusement. You feel powerful, but you also feel amused. And this is great. This is a great next step. And the first step, when you feel powerful, you're developing that ZFG attitude. You're feeling really powerful and free. But there's also some anger in there, probably. especially when other people criticize you. You say what you believe is true, and then they criticize you, they attack you, or they laugh at you, or they worry about you. And it's normal in this first step to feel kind of angry, like, they're trying to stop me, they're trying to control me, they're lying. It's normal. You feel a little bit of an angry reaction, and that you feel powerful, you feel free, but there's some anger in there. But the next step, when you start to see more clearly, you start to see how weak they are, how dishonest they are, and you start to feel more true to yourself, more honest in yourself, more powerful. The next step that comes is you still feel powerful, but you also feel amused. Amused means it's kind of like laughing. It's a feeling of laughter. It's a very light, funny feeling. You start to see their craziness. You start to see the blue-pilled lies as a little bit funny, kind of ridiculous, right? You're kind of like, God, they're ridiculous. When you don't care what other people think anymore, when they react so strongly, when they become crazy, super emotional, you start to see them as like a little bit crazy, and it actually becomes comic. It becomes like a comedy. This is, again, an attitude of amusement. Amusement means, right, a feeling of funniness, a feeling that makes you want to laugh. Some people call this amused mastery. Amused mastery, this next stage or step. Amused mastery. You have mastery of yourself. You have more mastery of yourself, your own mind, your own life. And at the same time, you have a feeling of amusement, a feeling of humor, of lightness, of laughter about all the people who want to control you or criticize you or whatever. You start to see the whole situation as a little bit funny. Which means you feel even happier. You feel even happier because now you feel confident and powerful, but you also feel happy and light, and you're laughing. It all becomes kind of a funny game. I'll give you another example. Instead of something like business or school, let's just talk about dating. This works very well in dating, especially for young men. So step one for many young men, certainly for me when I was a young man, step one is to be the nice guy. I'm going to be the nice guy. If I'm a nice guy to her and I'm so romantic and sweet and nice, then she'll like me. And then you go on a date with a girl or several dates with a girl, and you try to say everything correct. You try to do everything correctly. Okay? It's not a ZFG attitude. You care way too much about her opinion. You care way too much about pleasing her, about not saying anything she won't like, about avoiding any criticism, about avoiding any anger, about avoiding any disagreement, right? So you're choosing your words and your actions very carefully, trying to please this girl, to make her think you're wonderful and great. It's super blue pill. And I'll tell you, it doesn't work very well. She might like you, but after time, maybe not on the first date, but let's say if you continue to date this girl, she kind of likes you. There's some attraction there. But the problem is, what happens is over time, if you keep doing this, you continue to care too much, constantly worrying about her instead of being true to yourself, what happens is she will lose respect for you. She will stop respecting you. She won't tell you this. She will not tell you directly this, but it'll happen. It is just it's an emotional, internal reaction. And this is when she breaks up with you, or when she cheats on you with some other guy, or when she starts to just really be, mean to you, or basically something bad happens in the relationship and it's over. Or she tells you, oh, let's just be friends. Let's just be friends. I don't think of you as that way. I think of you more as a friend. It's because you're too much of a nice guy. Because you're trying to please her. You don't have a ZFG attitude, right? You care way too much about her, and you don't care enough about your own self, your own truth, your own goodness, and what you need to do. That's the blue pill. It will make you very unhappy, young men. Take my advice. I speak from much experience. Okay. So then what happens? Let's say, again, with a young man. Let's say, hopefully, a young man will start to realize this is not working. I'm having a lot of bad luck with women because of this. And the young man starts to change. He starts to realize, I need to focus on myself. I need to find my own purpose, my own missions, my own passions and interests, and develop those. I need to have that inside of me. This must come from the inside. It must be true to myself. That must be my first focus. So the young man starts to work on that, making some great improvements. He also decides, I'm going to stop caring so much about what other people think. I'm just going to do what is right for me. More and more, I'm just going to do this and move forward, even when I worry, even when I'm afraid, and I'm just going to keep pushing forward. As he does this, he gets more confident. He gets more and more and more of a ZFG attitude. ZFG. He starts to be more direct and honest. So then he meets another girl. He goes on a date. And he's in the stage 2. So he feels powerful. He feels more powerful, more confident, which is great. So he notices he's getting better results with girls. More girls want to go on a date with him. More girls are attracted to him because of that confidence, that power. But he also finds that he's having some problems because he still cares a little too much, right? He's in the anger phase a little bit, the second phase. So when the girls react to him in a negative way, it's a kind of a test that girls will do to you. So you say something they don't like, and then they'll become really emotional and they'll react emotionally, and they're testing you to see, will you change your mind and start being a wimp again and try to please her, or will you just stay calm and be honest and true and real? And what happens is many times in the second phase, you'll say something, you like the girl. You'll say something, you're finally being more honest. You have more of a ZFG attitude. You're more confident. So you do something or say something, she doesn't like it. She reacts to kind of test you in a big emotional way. And because you're not completely ZFG yet, you will get worried. Oh my God, I've upset her. And then you'll go backwards and you'll start trying to please her again. Or you'll start trying to explain yourself. Or you'll start trying to change a little bit your action to adapt to her. All of these things are a disaster also. You're failing the test, guys. And another possibility is you get angry about it. She has this big reaction and you just like, and it makes you angry, and then you start yelling at her, and then you start getting in fights. And this can also end the possible relationship or stop a relationship from happening because you're not quite all the way to ZFG yet. Again, I speak from much experience. I went through stage number 2 also with dating and girls and women. And stage 2, you will have much better results. You certainly will feel like, I'm doing much better with dating now. But, it's still not great. You're just getting in all these fights and arguments and things. You're not consistent. Sometimes you're ZFG, and then sometimes when she reacts badly or argues or does something, then you go back to being blue pill again, and it's kind of an up and down in stage 2. But you keep pushing forward. You keep pushing forward. Most importantly, not with girls, but most importantly in your own life, you keep making these decisions and taking these actions in your life that are important for you. If you want to start a business, you start it. If you want to travel the world, you do it. If you want to live in a car, you live in a car. You don't care what some girl thinks about that. You don't care what anyone thinks about that. And as you make those decisions about your life, and as you start to find that purpose in your life, that internal purpose inside of you, and those missions, those important missions in your life inside of you, and those passions and those interests inside of you, then finally you get to stage 3, that ZFG, total ZFG, 0 fucks given. You don't care anymore. It's not you don't care about that person. You care about them. But you don't care about their disagreement with you. You don't care if they like what you're doing or not. Tough luck. So when you date, finally when you get to this step, you date another girl. And now your attitude is, look, this is me. I am me. I live my life the way I want. Okay? I have my own purpose. I have my own missions. If you like it, great. Maybe we can continue to date. Maybe we'll have a good relationship. We'll see. But if you don't like it, if you can't accept that, okay, fine. Goodbye and good luck. You don't try to please her. You don't try to change for her. You also don't get angry at her. You're not upset by this. This is just life. You realize you have a much better viewpoint about this. It's a much more like Arjuna, where you're just calm and you're not focused on the results so much. You're just more focused on being honest and open and direct. So this girl, when you date her, you show her the real you. She sees the full 100% real you. Now, if she's a perfect fit for you, if it's really going to work, she sees the full you and she really loves you as you really are, not trying to change you into something else. And then you feel the same about her. Now you can have a real relationship that will be healthy and can last for a long, long time. Now you will have her respect. She will respect you. Even if she disagrees with you about some things, she will respect you because she knows that you have great strength inside. That you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about her or anyone else disagreeing with you. And you feel the same about her, by the way. And you might have some disagreements about things, but you just talk about them. You don't need her to agree with you. You see the difference? When you need her to agree with you, then you argue and then you try to convince her and back and forth, and it's just this big emotional craziness. But if you don't need her to agree with you, you just say, okay, that's okay, fine. I don't agree, but that's okay. You have your opinion. I have my opinion. No problem. It's no big deal. You don't give a fuck. 0 fucks given. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother you. If the disagreement is about something small, some small thing that's not important, then no big deal. You can still have a good relationship. If the disagreement is about something very big and important to you, well, then maybe there is no relationship. Maybe you have to end it, or just say, or don't start. You just say, look, you seem like a good person, but this is me. This is the life I want to live. These are my values, and we just don't fit. So nothing against you, but good luck to you. And that's it. It's so much more powerful. The next thing too is you develop that amusement. So when you see that a girl is reacting emotionally, she's playing a game many times, right? She's crying and going crazy or acting angry, or they have all kinds of little tricks and games they're playing to test you, and you start to see it. You start to realize it's just a game. Instead of getting angry, or instead of being weak, you just laugh. You just kind of you laugh at it because you see it as kind of cute and funny. And when you do that, again, speaking from experience, when you just laugh about it, the girl will very quickly change. She'll stop very soon. When she feels like you passed the test, when she can feel that you're not getting upset, you're not angry, and you're also not being a wimp, you're not being weak, trying to please her, and you're just kind of laughing about it because you see through it, you gain a lot of respect. It works so much better. And I'll tell you, when you get to this level with relationships, dating, it's so much happier for everybody. You will be, young men, you will be so much happier when you have this ZFG attitude. And so will the girl or the woman that you date or marry. Because they'll know the real you. They will be marrying or dating the real you, not somebody who's pretending to be someone, to be nice or to please her. She'll know it's the real you. She'll respect that much, much, much more. See, what you have to realize, here's another big red pill, young men, when you're dating. Respect is probably more important than love. For longer term relationships, for a relationship to be happy and healthy for you and for her, for it to succeed, especially for a marriage. Success for this depends much more on respect. I shouldn't say much more, but at least equally on respect. Love is important, yes, but it's only half of the formula. If you have love without respect, you will be miserable. If you date a girl and she loves you but she doesn't respect you, you are going to feel huge pain. She's going to lie to you. She'll probably cheat on you. And eventually she will break up with you. She will use you even if she loves you. Respect, most guys and in movies, they don't really show this. They don't teach a lot of relationships books. They don't talk about this because they're all written for women mostly. Mostly women read those relationship books. So they're written from a woman's point of view, which is fine. But men need different advice. And men, you have to be respected. You have to be respected. No respect means no relationship. No respect means no happiness. No respect means you feel weak. No respect means you will be miserable in any relationship. And ZFG will give you that respect. Not only with dating and women, but in general. Most of all, ZFG gives you self-respect. You respect yourself finally. And again, I'm speaking from experience. Because before ZFG, you don't respect yourself. You're being a nice guy. You're saying things nicely, but they're not really what you think, not really what you feel. You're doing things, it's not really what you want to do, but you're doing it to be nice. You're doing it because you're afraid of what other people will think. When you're doing that, before ZFG, when you're doing that, you don't respect yourself. You don't respect yourself enough to be real, to be true to yourself. You don't respect yourself to do what you want to do. You don't respect yourself to take risks, to start that business, to go traveling, to do whatever it is you want to do. You don't respect yourself to just be honest with that girl. Instead, you try to say what you think she wants to hear. So ZFG gives you the self-respect. It's really what it's about. It's really about self-respect, respecting your purpose, respecting your mission, respecting your virtues and your values, respecting truth, respecting your duty. I know it seems a little scary for people who are totally blue-pilled. I know it can seem mean, right? When you're such a nice guy or a nice girl. This goes for girls too, by the way. Now that we're ending the dating example, everything else also is true for women. So number one, it can be scary just because you worry about others' opinions and being criticized. But the other thing is you worry about, oh, everyone will think I'm mean, or maybe you'll even feel a little mean because you're finally saying the truth and people don't want to hear it and people get upset and you feel like, oh, I'm just not a nice guy anymore. I know. Like I said, that's the second step. I have done these 3 steps myself, and I know that second step is hard. The first step is hard. Just starting is hard. The whole thing's hard until you get to the end. When you finally get to the third step, that's when it starts to feel fun. Like I said, that's when the amusement comes. You feel powerful, but you're also, it's not so serious anymore. The whole thing feels like a funny game now. So maybe you say something. Like, recently I've been saying stuff about the transgender craziness. I'll say it on social media sometimes. Well, it's not politically correct in America. We're supposed to pretend these people are totally healthy and normal, and we're supposed to accept that schools are teaching this to young, small children. And I don't accept it, and I will not lie about it, and I will not be nice about it. So I'll say it quite harshly and directly. I don't know if it's harsh. I'm just saying what I truly think is the truth. And I've had some people go, oh my God, they react very strongly, and I used to get maybe upset about that, and now I just laugh. I find it kind of funny because it's so easy to make them upset. They're like little kids. Now I look at them like I'm used to being around my young children now in my family. And young children are exactly the same, right? When they get upset about something, what do? They scream and they yell, and sometimes they'll insult you. You're mean, you're a jerk, I hate you. Ah! They'll fall down on the ground, right? They jump up and down. I remember when I was younger, I would see small children doing this, and it would bother me. I would get kind of angry, like annoyed. It's like, oh God, I don't want children. They're so annoying when they just scream and yell and they do this. I found it like really, it kind of made me angry. Like, shut up, kid. But now, with a different mindset and being older, now I find it very funny. I think it's actually very cute when a small child, or even a bigger child, starts, screaming and yelling, and they fall on the floor, because they want candy, right? I want candy, and you say no candy, and then I want candy, they jump up and down, and they cry, and they scream. So now I laugh. I think it's very comical. I think it's extremely funny because the reaction is they're overreacting so much, right? It's such a crazy overreaction for something so small. And it's a small child, so it's very cute. I think it's cute and it's funny. It doesn't bother me at all now. Quite the opposite. In fact, I have to try sometimes not to laugh, because if I laugh, maybe they get more upset. So sometimes I have to kind of turn my back so they don't see me, and I'll laugh, because it's just funny watching them go crazy. Well, this is how sadly many adults will react when you have a ZFG attitude, because most don't. Most people are blue-pilled, and they're just saying what they think they're supposed to say, and they're afraid to say anything else. So when you, Mr. or Miss ZFG, Mr. or Miss Zero Fucks Given, you just say the truth straight and direct, or you just do what you want to do. You don't apologize, you don't explain, you just do it. Some people, oh my God, and they'll really overreact, very emotional. It's kind of crazy. It's not their life. Why are they reacting that way? But they will. Some people will. And you start to see, oh my God, they are. It's like little children. And when you get to the third step, finally, you'll have the same reaction as like me with the children. You actually start to laugh. It actually starts to be kind of funny. And then you'll start to even tease them sometimes, which maybe is not so nice, but sometimes I can't help it. I just actually want to tease them a little more. So I'll say something even exaggerated that I know will upset them even more just because it makes me laugh. That is a little mean, but whatever. This is a powerful transformation. It's an attitude change that will affect everything in your life. Will completely change everything in your life. I urge you, I encourage you, I support you in taking these steps. Go through all of these steps to develop your own ZFG attitude. Stop giving a fuck what other people think. Stop caring if they get upset. Stop caring if they don't like it. And this is true for people you love too. Okay, you can have ZFG and still love someone. You know, I'll give you an example, a close example from me. I love my mom very deeply. I love my mom, very grateful to my mom. My dad too, of course. So I love her, but I don't give a fuck what she thinks about my life and my actions. In other words, I don't want to make her unhappy, but I'm not going to change my actions or my words just to please my mom. I'm not living for my mom. You know, I love my mom. I do nice things for my mom. If she needs help, I'll help her. I talk to my mom every week. So I care about her. I show her I care in many different ways. I show her I care. But if I want to start a business, I'm starting a business. I don't even think about will my mom like it or not like it. I don't give a fuck. You see the difference? You see what I mean? You can care about somebody, you can love them, but you have a ZFG attitude about their criticism or their disagreement. You're not going to let them control you with that. And by the way, I expect the same from my mom. I don't expect my mom to care about my opinion about her life. If she wants to do something in her life, or then I expect her to just do what she thinks is right in her own life. I expect her to make those decisions, and it doesn't matter if I agree. It doesn't matter if I would do the same, because we're different people. So she chooses to live in a different way than I do. That's true for everybody. So just don't give a fuck about what other people think about those decisions and how you live your life. It's your life. This will set you free, guys. This is the magical, happy joy, happiness, power, and fun, because it is fun. The great fun of the red pill. The red pill journey, the red pill path. It's a path. There are steps. Go through them all and feel that incredibly amused power and happiness. I want that for you. You will get it. Keep pushing, keep going. ZFG. And for your English, join my VIP program. It's to speak English powerfully, speak fluently, speak effortlessly, think in English. Join my VIP program today at effortlessenglishclub.com. Join now at effortlessenglishclub.com.